All right, we're going to get started here in just a minute, and of course, man, I'm tired, guys. I am so tired. I mean, I know you can look at me and tell me I'm exhausted here. It's been a very long stretch here. Um, we kind of got started on what the heck just fell here. Not sure what this is here. Anyway, the we got started tracking this thing this past weekend here. And when you're doing social media type things, the way we've been doing them, and there's been a lot of videos, there's been a lot of, just been some long hours. I've just put in some long hours. So we are wrapping this winter storm up, at least in my part of the country here, over in Northwest Texas, Southwest Oklahoma. But there are other places are really getting hit hammered with the ice storm tonight. This storm really took on a complete different look once it got east of here, as opposed to what was kind of anticipated further east. You know, I'll be honest, I haven't really looked further east much. I've been mostly kind of concentrated on Texas and Oklahoma. But I do know that I saw a lot of posts about some big snow mounts there over in Arkansas and North Mississippi and over into Alabama. And it looks to me like tonight, a lot of those areas have just wound up with more ice than they have snow. I know that in the Dallas area, yeah, a lot of people are very frustrated because it looked like you were going to see some ice there, but you wound up getting mostly rain out of this, and an echo, an echo. Okay, let me figure that part out here. So let me figure that part out. Oh, I know where it's at. There it is. All right, now that fixed the echo problem. Sorry, guys. So I've got an encoder in here, and the encoder was showing that's where the echo came from. So the echo's gone now. It's gone now. So we should be good there on that. So, but for some reason, I don't know why, but there we go. It's not frozen up anymore. There we go. So I'm waiting on Cameron Lindsay to join me. He should be in here pretty soon. He's still out there in Wise County where it's still snowing. Hopefully he'll jump on board here in just a minute. But so there's our winter storm. Look at how wide this is. Let me turn the overlay off over here for just a second. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to turn the chat overlay off for a minute. There we go. All right. So if you look tonight, look at that. Look at how widespread this storm system is, though. If we go even a little bit further to the east over here, just a lot of rain and snow. Snow is in northeast Texas, and most of Oklahoma is seeing snow now, and a lot of Arkansas is too. And your heaviest precipitation, though, is actually helping to drag some warmer air down. So you wound up with a lot of ice tonight there from about south of Little Rock down to the Louisiana border. There's some snow over there too. And we are seeing some areas of heavy snow over here in northeast Texas. But, places that we thought that we're going to see get hit hard, Dallas, you stayed mostly rain. Now, it does look like the back edge has transitioned to some snow, and there is a pretty good band of snow moving through there now, maybe enough to briefly coat the ground, but that's a far cry from the 2 feet that people were calling for earlier in the week, right? Now, as far as, into North Texas goes, there's still this the band of snow now that is moving. It's kind of some moderate snow in Decatur. This is the very back edge of at least the main band of snow with this storm here. Let's see here. I think we got Weatherman Cam here. We can go with as well here. So let's go with Weatherman Cam here. Let's pull up. Give me a second to pull up a graphic here so we can show that. So. All right, Weatherman Cam, where are you at? Looks like you got a lot of snow on the road there. And how are the roads, by the way?
Yeah, Ken, I'm just left Bridgeport probably about 15 minutes ago or so. But the roads are honestly some of the worst roads I've driven on because what's happening is, they've seen some heavier accumulations out here in Bridgeport. Oh, it might happen here. But what's happened is there's tracks, obviously, from people that have been driving on this road. I'm currently on... What is this? I don't know. Highway 101 going towards 287 right now. But people have driven on this. What's happened is the accumulation has built up in between those tracks on the sides and the front. So if at any point in time the car catches, maybe a bit of that pile, it's going to try to spin you some. So it's been a slow journey to get to back to 287. I feel like once I get to 287, we'll be in better shape. But right now, it's pretty rough out here, man.
Right, but stay in the what you do in these types of situations when you're in snow. It looks like there's still snow falling there too, isn't there?
Very, very light snow falling right now. It's very, very light.
And you're in Wise County over there near Bridgeport, right?
That's
Yeah, we're
correct.
having a hard time keeping.
I mean, this place. I mean, from everything I've seen today, this.
How deep would you say the snow is there?
I'd probably say maybe 5 inches. Maybe you find an isolated pocket that has 6 inches is possible, but I think probably 4 to 5 is probably the safe happy number for
Yeah,
this
it
general
looks like
area.
most of the areas in North Texas saw between about 2 and 4 or 5 inches of snow here. I know in the falls, I think we may have gotten up to 3, maybe. I measured the snow out in the grass before I went on my dinner break, and it looked like we had about 3 out there. Of course, it probably did. It look like that here this morning? I wasn't awake this morning whenever y'all were doing coverage. How did that go?
For me, I was at the station until about probably 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was there at 5 in the morning. At 5 in the morning, it was just the sleet that we were dealing with. So we are just dealing with that sleet, and it was picking up in the parking lot and all that. But when I went out towards Archer County, what I call Archita now, right along the county line, it was just under 2 inches at around 8 a.m. this morning. So when it came down fast.
Came down fast and furious, I assume. All right, looks like we may have lost Cameron for a minute, but he'll be back on here in a minute. So as he does, we'll come back to him. But there it is. There's the back edge of the snow. So what can we expect the rest of the night? Looks like we got Cameron back. So, all right, Cameron, we're back with you. You're back on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. So looks like you got some bad cell phone service there. But if you can hear me, what can motorists expect in the morning when they're, if they do happen to have to go to work? Like we have someone here asking now, what do you think the roads will be like around 7 a.m. in the morning? Looks like we don't have Cameron at the moment. When we get him back, I'll come back to him. But, honestly, Sarah, the roads outside, at least here in Wichita Falls, are actually in very, very good shape here right now. They're wet and there's some slushy spots, but I have not run across any black ice. Secondary roads, I'm talking about the roads that are not traveled very much. They're in driveways. They still have some slush on them. But as far as the roadways go, we appear to be in pretty good shape out there. You got to watch temperatures. That's the main thing we're having to watch now is the temperatures to see what they do. And, we are down to 30 at this time, 30 in Lawton, 30 in the Falls, 30 out this. We could maybe drop to 29, perhaps, maybe. But, I don't know that that'll happen. We could drop to 29. And if we do drop to 29, then we could wind up, having some black ice early on in the morning, maybe. It's possible anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that and see. But as of right now, the roads do appear to be in pretty good shape. Okay. Not sure what's there we go. There we go. It just got locked up there for a minute there. So, but the roads do appear to be in pretty good shape here at the present time. So if we look at the radar, and I'm kind of back over here into Northwest Texas. So tonight we have our main storm system here. Let me put all the radar sites on here, and I'm going to kind of do a little forecasting and kind of tell you what's going to happen over the next 24 hours with this winter storm here. So if you take a look here, and I'm trying to put all my radar sites on now, so give me just a second. So I'm widening it out. Our storm center itself is right about here. In fact, you're seeing a line of thunderstorms that have developed right out ahead of the main storm system itself. Those are not severe, but you do see where this is the main storm center itself, right about there, hugging the coast of Texas here. Out ahead of it, you've got a band of thunderstorms here. That would be kind of like a cold front there. And with your heaviest precipitation just on the north side, raining heavily tonight in Houston, and that's going to continue moving over into the Gulf Coast states. This storm center is going to continue to move basically kind of over into this area here. It's actually a little bit further north than a lot of the weather information was showing originally. And that's why there's going to be less wintry precipitation in places like northern and central Alabama, northern and central Mississippi, because warmer air is getting drawn northward here now. So you're going to wind up with more rain over in this area than you do ice. Now there is some ice and snow on the cold side of things. In fact, you've got what's happening here is you got a big piece of energy. This is the upper level weather system here. All right, so there's your upper level weather system here. That's your main storm energy. And what it's done is that momentum and that energy gets transferred down to the Earth's surface, and a storm center forms there at the Earth's surface there. And this storm system is responsible for pumping that moisture north and eastward. Your upper level system is responsible for producing the lift here. I know it gets kind of confusing there, but that's kind of how it works. Somebody asked me how weather works. That's how it works. In these storm systems here, when you have a mature system, you get a dry slot. This is dry air that comes in the middle of them. That's why you saw the snow turn off here, and your main snow bands are kind of tilted like in this direction over this way. I also think that because the system has what we call a right tilt or a positive tilt, and I also think that that's had a tendency to kind of keep the temperatures maybe aloft a little bit warmer. And because the storm's a little bit further north, it's also another reason why the temperatures are a little bit warmer. Dallas, I know it's a big disappointment down that way because you wound up with mostly rain today, some freezing rain, but you're getting some snow now there in the Metroplex. And if you haven't transitioned to snow, you will. But it doesn't look like it's going to last that long. It's going to last for maybe an hour or two, but enough to perhaps maybe give you a couple of inches maybe of a wet snow accumulation, a little slush buildup on the roadways. I mean, even if you go to the east here, you can see there's pockets of snow here, but the radar is trying to show some of this transitioning to rain, and there could be some freezing rain. There could be, ice over there in southern Arkansas, and that could even transfer up towards Little Rock, Arkansas. I don't know how much snow Tulsa's gotten, but I don't think that Tulsa's gotten a whole lot. And then there's still seeing some heavy snow bands. There are some moderate snow bands east of the Ardmore area. So we go back here to the west a little bit, and you do got some snow shower type activity kind of pivoting around the upper level system here into Oklahoma City tonight. Nothing major up there. Then you go back to the west, and we've got this is the very back side of the upper level storm center. Okay. If this thing were tilted more to the left, okay. So when you're talking about a upper level storm system here, all right. So, you got a storm center that looks something like this. If its tilt is more to the right, it's called a positive tilt. And typically when that happens, you don't see a big explosive storm. And this is not an explosive storm, but it is a fairly decent winter storm here with some heavy precipitation. Now, if this system were to turn back over to the left here, if it were to be turned over to the left, it would be leaning more kind of back this direction. That's called a negative tilt. That would cause that surface low I was talking about, to pivot more up like this. And that would have created a bigger snowstorm over into this area here. But, still decent amounts, but it was a really wet snow. And another thing too, is you don't have a lot of Arctic air. The cold air we had that arrived last Sunday has really modified a lot here. So you don't have cold Arctic air. The storm center itself is kind of producing the cold air. Cold temperatures. So this area of precipitation will continue to pivot north and east overnight tonight into early Friday morning. And this area on the back side here is going to eventually, after midnight and early on Friday morning, kind of wrap back around and drop down into North Texas. Now, I don't think that this will be heavy. I think this will be a much lighter type of snow band here, but there will be some around. And you might even still see some around in the morning when you get up. See, there it is. There's that snow band, even at 5 a.m. here. And, if it can come down heavy enough and you can get enough banding, I suppose there could be another maybe dusting in some locations with that. There we are at 6 a.m. And as the system itself pulls away, we should rapidly see that fizzle out as well. Yes, you're on Facebook Live right now. You're walking in front of the camera. Yeah, and I already know you don't have to tell me. I know I'm doing the cutting. I got it. So, yeah, you're good. So that's how it looks. That's how it looks right there. So as far as long range patterns go at this point in time, I really feel like, and we can bring Weatherman Cam back on here. As far as long range patterns go, I really feel like Cameron, that we're going to stay on the chilly side. It looks warmer through the weekend, early next week, but as far as wintry precipitation, I don't see any sign of that anytime soon now.
Oh, but Ken, I'm loving the snow.
I know you're having fun, Cameron. This has been your element. I know it. Your element is that tracker. You do a good job in that tracker too, man. So I know you've
Ken,
had
if
fun
I if
today.
I if I could be buried with something, I want to be buried in this tracker.
All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind if something happens. Let's hope that nothing happens to you. So,
Oh no, even though I'm 95 years old, take this tracker down with me.
all right, Brandy Lawrence, what's up, Ken from Corinth, Mississippi? I'm from Mississippi originally, and my aunt lives in Corinth actually, and my cousin's a doctor over there, Dr. Matt Johnson. He's over there in Corinth. So,
My
uh,
grandpa is from Corn.
and that's right, Cameron. So we got connections here at Corinth with Brandy here. So, what's up, Linda Spin? What's going on? Katie says, is there a way we could send all this snow to California? They could sure use more of it. Oh, I know they could. They need all the moisture they can get out there. I mean, boy, that's a tragedy what's going on out there in California. And it's this storm system. Our winter storm is actually what helped spawn that. Is that strong winds in the backside of it. That's what caused those fires out there. So, heck yeah, Brandy says we love Dr. Johnson. He's my cousin. He's my first cousin. Small world, isn't it? I can't
Hey
wait to
Ken.
tell him. What?
By the way, I meant to tell you, but I was just going to tell you when I got in here. But interestingly enough, out here in Wise County, there are actually a couple of decently sized branches that were down from the snow. Nothing,
He-
affecting power lines or anything, but
heavy
along the
wet
highway.
snow. Heavy wet snow,
Yeah.
right? Well, yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm not surprised. When you get that heavy wet snow, it sticks to the tree branches and it can break them. So Shannon says this is nice here. I do appreciate this, Shannon, because I mean this is actually saying some big things here, Cameron. Shannon says I kept watching you since moving from Wichita Falls to the OKC area because I prefer you to others. And Oklahoma City's got some great meteorology. Damon Lane's a great one too. I don't know about the other guys, but Damon Lane is good. Mike Morgan is his name. He's pretty good. So I mean, you got some good ones up there. So I appreciate that. She said it's slowing down here, but we should expect another band to snow or anything on miss us. I think you'll get some light snow with that next band kind of moving through, but not much. Not much more in the way of accumulation. So you're actually pretty good. So
You want to hear
well, thank
something
you,
funny,
Brandy.
Ken?
Thank you, Brandy. What's up?
So when I have my Apple Maps pulled up, I'm getting back to the station, and I constantly get notifications for like hazards, but Apple Maps doesn't know that the whole road is a hazard.
That's funny. That's funny. I guess it's probably telling you, to take a break because the little thing says you need to take a break if you're, driving, if you're all over the place or whatnot.
No, it's just Apple Maps saying there's hazards on the road. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. Look at the entire road. The entire road is a hazard. And then the car tells me ice is possible. Yeah, I could have told you that.
Monte County weather, and they say they're blasting the people who forecasted a foot of snow in Dallas. It's still raining in Dallas. It is. It rained. I think that's all you've gotten mostly is rain in Dallas. I really thought that it was going to be a kind of a battle zone in Dallas. I really thought there might be some more ice there than they actually wound up getting, but a foot's
Hey,
going to be a far cry. What?
Monte County weather volunteers, your roads are
Yep,
prethe bad.
that's right. You hear them? That's right. Monte County weather volunteers. Bad roads over there. Oh, it's David Payne. Sorry, David Payne. I thought it was Damon Lane. David Payne,
I
Damon Lane, and I
thought it was
think
Damon
that
Lane
could
too.
be that could get confusing there. And then you got Mike Morgan over there.
Ken, I really hope we get more snow. I love this stuff.
So John this guy keeps messaging me, Cameron. He keeps asking me, are we going to have a wet spring in 2025? Oh, he says wet rest of winter. He wanted to know about spring earlier. I told him, man, there ain't no way I can tell you that right now. I've been so focused on winter, I'm not even thinking about spring yet. No, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have a wet winter the rest of 2025. I just don't. I mean, we might see, continuation of some of these dry cold fronts pushing through. We'll see what happens when we get to February. February usually is our month. We get our winter stuff here. So.
Hey, Ken, let me ask you this when it comes to like climate keeping and all that. When it comes to snow, how do they record that in terms of precipitation? Is it just like they do like liquid equivalent, or what do they do?
I think they just got some type of a measuring, something how they measure it. I think that's somebody you'd have to ask at the weather service because I don't know. Let me see how much the official total is here. It might be liquid. I bet it is. I don't know if it's liquid equivalent. I really don't know what they do honestly.
Because if you
So,
get you get 2 inches of snow, you can't say you had 2 inches of precip because like you technically didn't. You know what I mean?
right. So let's see what they have as far as their what they got in the bucket out there, and this is not going to be a accurate representation of how much actually fell, but liquid equivalent for 34, 35, 36, 37. Let's like 38, right at under, just right under 4/10 of an inch of liquid precipitation, um, the European computer model, their AI computer model they have actually forecasted that. It actually forecasted that accurately down to the number almost.
Hmm.
So, but that's liquid equivalent. And I think officially we're going to wind up with about 3 inches of snow. That's just what I think. Here at the station, we got about three.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
about three. It's going to be widespread, 1 to 3 inch amounts across the area. Then you go over there where you're at, and kind of over there in parts of maybe Archer, Clay, down into Jack, and over there into Monte. Could probably got more like 4 to 5. It really was a great forecast. And it was a hard forecast to say that, to say the very least. It was hard, and it was actually wound up being a pretty good forecast. And
You did good,
Cameron,
Ken.
Cameron, well, you did too. Cameron, that's why we tell people to please be careful when it comes to, to trust in those big snow. I know you're going to do it because I mean you get excited and you're just people are just going to do it. They're just going to get excited about all that stuff, but try not to because that stuff is usually not accurate, especially when it's many days out. And oftentimes those big bright maps aren't right anyway. So even if there's 2 or 3 days out, they're not right. So you got to be careful about trusting that stuff. So
Ken, this might be the first night that I don't stay up late and anxiously wait for models to roll in.
oh, I'm ready to go to bed now. I told Kelly before I went home. I got a pizza and I went home with the dinner break, and I told her, I said, I just don't want to go back to work. I'm tired. I'm ready to get to bed.
Dude, I've never been so excited to be on 287. Oh my gosh.
Where are you? Are you back in Monte yet?
Yeah, I've been in Monte for a little bit now, but I'm on 287 now finally, and the road's not too bad in Monte. I can see some spots where you could see some black ice, but the main driving path is in pretty good shape right now.
You've done a great job tonight. That's for sure. Fantastic job as always. Weatherman Cam, you're the voice and the eye of Texoma. People rely and depend upon you. I don't know what we would do without you.
Ken, don't get me wrong. I love being in a studio, but I'm telling you, you get the absolute best version of me when I'm out here in the field in the weather.
Camera, you're irreplaceable. There's no way I could ever replace you. I mean, there's just no way. I love Garrett, and I still do love Garrett, but he ain't got nothing on you, man. He just don't.
You're gonna make me blush.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate you. Appreciate that hard dedication.
Can I still after the show? Can I throw myself down the hill and try to again?
Dude, all you're gonna do is roll around in mud and slush out there. There's nothing to slide down.
I have snow gear on. I am fine.
All right, well, yeah, go for it. I'll video it when you get back here. We'll video you rolling down the hill. It'll be good something to put on social media.
Good. I'll be rolling in right around the show as the show ends. So.
Well, I've got to get my tie on and get ready here, and you got to get ready. I'll come to you during the show at first in full weather. Okay.
Okie dokie.
All right, drive safe. Looks like you're on some good ground now, but drive safe. Everybody drive safe in the morning, please. And thanks for joining us again. Hey, I've had over 1.2 million on my page this week on Facebook. That's incredible, guys. Thank you so much.
Ken, we've had some fun, man.
We have, and hopefully we'll have some more fun before all said and done, all right?
I hope so.
We'll see you, buddy. Be careful.
See you, bud.